Hi everybody, Namaskar, good evening. This is Shwetali Sengupta from Aspiring Life after a long time in live from Kolkata office, India. Whereas in Bangladesh and now back to Kolkata, India. And so going live today with a very special, very sweet would be doctor from UK, Exeter University. She's doing her third year MBBS and a very sweet person. And we are going to welcome Zeliha. Yes, her name is Zeliha. So, hi Zeliha, this is Choitali from Aspiring Life. We welcome you to our Aspiring Life Consultants Private Limited YouTube channel. How are you?
Hello, Choitali. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, love to hear my name so perfectly from your mouth. Thank you. So, thank you for taking out time for us, from your busy schedule of studies and all that. So, we are not going to grill you, we are not going to ask you many questions, but we want to know about study of MBBS from UK. So, you first please introduce yourself and tell to the audience who wants to pursue MBBS in UK and like whether you dreamt of becoming a doctor or whether your parents or somebody is doctor, we want to know you today actually.
Of
So
course.
let us have this screen with Zeliha only.
So, hello everyone. I'm Zeliha Akpinar, and I'm a third year medical student studying at the University of Exeter, and I have my own YouTube channel, and I was contacted by Chaitali and his team, her team, um, and so how I wanted to become a doctor. So I think for me, it started around when I was 16 years old. My sister is a doctor, but it wasn't really a big influence for me. It's because I loved science and I wanted to be around people rather than, for example, becoming a researcher. And because researcher like scientists are also people who deal with science. Rather than that side of science, I wanted to be around people and like be in contact with them. So for that reason, I went for doctor, and also I like the idea. Classically, everyone says like helping people, but I actually love being in hospital, and also I'd love to help people and increase in some sense their quality of life when it comes to their health aspect. So that's the reason why I chose to study medicine. And currently, like Chaitali mentioned, I am in my third year of medical school in the UK. So that's my that's how I got here.
Okay, so sweet of you, Zeliha. Zeliha, you tell me your sister was your biggest inspiration from where you got inspired. Uh, why you choose UK and what was the eligibility? And we want to know about your college or university, Exeter, where you are studying now. We want to know about that.
Yes. So I chose UK because my family actually moved from. So I'm originally, my dad's side is Turkish. So I came from Turkey. We were living in Turkey, and I moved to the UK when I was 16. So that's why, as my family moved to the UK, I had to study at university in the UK. So that's how I came. But that's actually part of the reason why I can relate with most of you here, like most of your channel subscribers and your viewers, because they are mostly international students, like from India, from Bangladesh. And I wasn't brought up in the UK, so I was also quite foreign to UK system. Um, so I came here when I was 16. Then I had to, understand how the UK system works and how I could actually become a doctor in the UK. So I had to learn everything from zero. Um, and so how it works is, so I didn't do A levels. A levels are the exams that British students take here, so that they can go to have a degree at university. What I did is something called foundation year at a college, international college. And then I went into medical sciences first. And then I transferred to medicine because my university, Exeter Medical School, the reason why I chose Exeter Medical School was that reason anyway, because they let you transfer from medical sciences to medicine. So only if you actually, only if you're in top 10 of your medical sciences course, and if you also pass the interview. And I knew about those conditions and about that transfer scheme from medical sciences to medicine at Exeter University. So that's why I chose Exeter University, so that I can transfer to medicine, because medical schools wouldn't accept my foundation year qualification. They only accept A-levels, IB, and some other qualifications. But as I came from another country, I didn't have A-levels. The A-levels are basically, like I said, the exam that British students take here. So that's why I had to choose University of Exeter, so that I can do this transfer to medicine from medical sciences. And I talk about this on my channel. It's called How I Got into Medical School in the UK from Turkey. It's a lot more detailed there, but this is the summary of it.
Oh, that's lovely. Tell me, how is the syllabus there in UK? And with that, I will give you two questions, punch, so that it becomes very easy for you to, define to the audience that how the MBBS is in MBBS in Turkey, and how, if you compare MBBS in Turkey with UK, so what are the differences in the syllabus, language? So give us a brief about all this.
Okay. So I know the syllabus in the UK medical school, or MBBS in the UK, a lot better, because I didn't really go to a medical school in Turkey, but I know it from my sister, who did go to MBBS in Turkey. But I can talk more about UK, and then I can try and compare between them two, just from what I heard from my sister, who studied in Turkey. So in the UK, currently at my university, we do 2 years of preclinical years. So basically, our placements or hospital-based work do not start really until the 3rd year of medical school, which I am in 3rd year right now. So this was my first year of proper hospital-based clinical placement. But in the first 2 years, you basically learn about the basic science behind medicine. So basic medical sciences, that's what you learn about. You'll learn about pathophysiology of diseases, and also you learn about like science in general, microbiology a little bit, genetics a little bit, and human physiology a lot more than microbiology and genetics, and the diseases and how to manage them. That's what you learn about in the first 2 preclinical years. And in 3rd year, 4th year, and 5th year, so I'm in a 5-year course, 5-year course of medicine. And from starting from 3rd year, 4th year, and 5th year, what you learn about is you're basically you go to uni 5 times a day, so like from Monday to Friday, like classically. But only one day, only on Monday, I actually go to campus, and for the rest of the 4 days of the week, we go to hospital, and we talk to patients. We shadow doctors, consultants, and basically they teach us stuff, and we actually, get hands-on starting from 3rd year of medical school. And we have our placement weeks. So for example, I started with pediatrics, so child health, then moved on to, for example, cardiology, so heart, and then you move on to, for example, orthopedics, like joints and bones health, basically. So you have blocks of specialities like pediatrics, cardiology, and orthopedics, and you go through them all, and you do that in hospital with consultants who teach you, and you talk to patients about you talk to like patients who has cardiology related problems, or you talk to children who have pediatric related problems, and that's how you learn each speciality and go through each speciality for the last 3 years of medical school.
Okay, so it's going really good. By the way, you are giving your interpretations and informations. I have few more questions. Like the questions are coming. Any entrance exam is there for getting admission for MBBS in UK?
Yes, so like I've mentioned here, usually in the UK they do an exam called A levels. So it's a different name. So I was like, A levels is the name of the exam. Yes, it's like it kind of gets a lot to get your head around the exam and the whole syllabus of the UK entrance to medicine. But usually people here, British people, they take an exam called A levels, and then they apply to universities through a site called UKCAT. So they apply to unis for medical courses, for example, through a website called not UK, is it UKCAT? No, UKCAT is the name of the test that you take with, yes, so sorry. UKCAT is the test that they take. It's like on top of the A levels, that a national British university entrance exam is A levels, and on top of that, they usually take an aptitude test, which is called UKCAT, and then they apply to medical schools through UCAS. That's what it is, through UCAS, an online platform called UCAS. They apply to medical schools or any other degrees. Every student in the UK applies to universities, or every student anywhere in the world can only apply to universities through a online portal called UCAT. And on UCAT, universities go through your personal statement. So you need to write a personal statement. Those university admission team go through your personal statement and go through your grades, your A-level grades. So the exam, the national exam of a UK medical school, they go through your A-level grades. You usually need at least like 4 A's, AAA, in biology, chemistry, maths, and usually the most other common subjects that medical students take is biology, chemistry, maths, and you can take anything else actually other than that, but like computer sciences or English. But biology, chemistry, and maths are like stuff that the subjects that you really need to take if you want to apply to medical schools in the UK. And then they go through, basically that admission team goes through your subjects and your marks and your personal statement, and then they decide whether you're an eligible applicant for their medical course at that specific university. And if they think you're good enough, they send you an interview. Then if you pass the interview, then you basically become a medical student in their university. So they send you an offer for their university. So there's a lot of steps. So starting, just to summarize, you do A levels. You can do IB, International Baccalaureate. I think that's what it's called, baccalaureate, something like that. You can do A levels. A levels is like the most common, basically national British university entrance exam. You do A levels, and A levels is that exam, and you take at least biology, chemistry, and maths. Some universities accept some other subjects as well. You take basically biology, chemistry, and maths. You get at least A or A star from each subject. After A levels, you need to do a clinical aptitude test, I think. So UKCAT, or UCAT now it's called, a UCAT test. And you need to get a good mark from that as well. And on top of that, you need to write a personal statement and go on a portal called UCAT and apply to medical schools from there. And after that, medical schools send you an interview or not. And then if you pass that interview, then you become a medical student. And then they send you an offer at their university. Sorry if I felt like it was a bit complex, and it's been 4 years since I didn't do this, so I had to refresh my mind. So hopefully I explained it well. But if you have any more questions, or if you want some clarification on that, let me know and I'll explain it further.
Great, Zeliha, that's great. Zeliha, I have a question again. Is A levels equal to some kind of IELTS type? Is it like IELTS?
I think IELTS, isn't it? It's like English exam, right? IELTS is like English exam for international students that you need to take on top that British students, for example, wouldn't need to take because they already take English exams starting from like primary school. So it's different. It's like basically yeah, IELTS is different. IELTS is only English exam, but A levels is you do maths when you go to college.
Chemistry,
Mm,
biology, all that, computer science, as you say.
exactly.
Where
Yeah.
is the venue? You sat in Turkey, you gave the exam, or you came all the way to UK to give the exam? So what was the venue? Where was the venue?
So you do it at your school before university. You know, you are at school, so you do take those exams at school. And I didn't do it in Turkey because my family moved to the UK before I had to take those exams, so I just went to my school.
Okay. Okay. So even after giving this LLS exam, you need to, your documents were verified, then you were called for an interview and then you were selected, right? So it's a huge process.
Exactly. Yes. Very well put.
Okay. Okay. Any Indian students studying there with you?
Yeah, of course. One of my I know so many of my close friends are Indian, but they weren't born in India, but they are like Indian through their ancestries and like from their families. And I actually feature some of them in my videos, like Lisbeth or Priya. They're both my very close friends, and actually Priya is my placement partner at hospital. And so yeah, they are in my videos on my channel as well. And yes, there are students who are from India who come here and study here. And also I know doctors who were born in India and who came to the UK to work here. Doctors that I like, the consultants that teaches us, that the consultants that teach us. I know some of them are Indian and they were born and raised there, but then they took some exams to come to the UK and practice as doctors here in the UK. So yes, of course, there's so many Indian people who are very good doctors and provide excellent care.
That's great. So how is your bonding with the Indians there? Nice bonding?
Yeah, of course, they're so lovely. Of course,
Thank
and
you. Thank you. You made my day also here. So my question is, can you put some light on the syllabus? I mean, the curriculum taught there in the UK in your university for MBBS, and
Mhm.
then we will come with the hostel, your cost of living, expenses, and everything.
Okay.
So
So
let's start with the syllabus. Yeah.
syllabus of medical school, is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So I've mentioned that in the first 2 years that it's your preclinical years, and for that reason, you, like I said, like genetics is one of the modules that you take. Genetics, biochemistry, and pharmacology. So pharmacology is basically drug science or medicine science. Pharmacology, genetics, biochemistry, immunology, also immune system, and then just going through the whole system of a human body. For example, respiratory system, so your lungs and your breathing. Then cardiology, so your heart and your circulation. Then neurology, so your nerves, your brain, your spine, the health of that. And there's so many specialities, obviously. So whatever specialities you have probably in India, you have it in the UK, like taught in a similar way. And then you go through each of those systems in your body, like in the human body. So like I said, cardiology, immunology, respiratory, and so many more. And you go through, like they teach you all of those in first and second year in the UK. Then you go to your clinical years, starting from third year, and including third, fourth, and fifth year, and then you go to hospital and actually see patients who has problems related to those systems. For example, in my cardiology placement week, I saw patients who had heart attacks, for example, In my respiratory placement, I saw patients who had lung diseases, lung cancer, and then in my pediatrics placement at hospital, I saw babies or children who had, for example, croup or bronchiolitis, so lung diseases, or who has some like genetic illnesses like cystic fibrosis. So you basically go through each system or each speciality that are in medicine. They teach you all of that in the first 2 years. Then starting from third year, you go to hospital and see actual patients and get to talk to them. And get to talk to them like in person and actually understand their diseases, talk to the patients, understand their diseases, their symptoms, how to treat it, what kinds of investigations to do, so that you can understand what kind of disease they have. So you basically going through specialities is the summary of this.
Zeliha, let us know about the hostel, the cost of living, the lifestyle, the food you get to eat, and everything. We want to know. We want to know your life there.
Okay. So unfortunately, it's very expensive, I have to say, because I know it from Turkish money as well. I mean, I'm not earning Turkish money, but like if you're earning, for example, Indian money, I'm not sure exactly what's the value of it, but British pound is very expensive. So like when you convert it to British pounds, it's quite expensive. So I'd say, for example, for a year staying at medical school in my accommodation, I pay, how much do I pay? Like 5k, 6k pounds, like 5,000, 6,000 pounds. But obviously it's a lot more expensive in London. I know from my London friends who are students in London universities, they pay at least 8,000 pounds, 9,000 pounds. Obviously, it depends on which part of London and which part of UK you are. But yeah, staying, the accommodation, the house, the hostel, if you want to call it, is the most expensive bit. Food is, I mean, how much do I pay? So weekly shopping, I pay around £100. So £400 goes to my, food shopping. And obviously, if you eat out, it's a lot more expensive. So for example, if you want to eat out once a week, or like eating out is like £10, I'd say. If you want to eat like average meal, it's £10. Obviously, it can go up or down, but average meal in the UK is like £10 if you eat out. If you cook yourself, it's a lot cheaper. So £400 in groceries, your food, and like cleaning products and stuff, £400 a month. And your accommodation, your hostel would be, a year would be £5,000, £6,000 up to £7,000, anywhere apart from London. But if you're in London, that's where it gets so expensive, like £8,000, £9,000 a year in London.
It's very expensive. I mean, it's expensive if you're, eating outside. But if you again doing your shopping and cooking, do you really, Zeliha, get your time to study so much and then cook and everything?
Yes, I think it's all about balancing it out, because I don't want to really eat out so much. I'm trying to save money. So for that reason, yes, I do have a system of cooking. So I usually cook all together at the start of the week. Then I eat them throughout I eat like the meal that I made. Like I do make quite a lot of it. Then I just put it in Tupperware in my fridge and just eat the same thing sometimes every week. Throughout the week. Then when I finish it, then I cook again all together, like a lot of food. Then I eat it throughout the week. So I do it in one batch, if that makes sense. So I don't have to cook every day, but there has been times that I had to cook like 2 times a week. And it's all about thinking about those like easy recipes as a student that you can do. So that's how I manage it. And then I get time to study for it, for like my work, for my medical school.
Absolutely, I understand that after studying so much, so many subjects and all that, it becomes very difficult. Zeliha, is there any scholarship opportunities for students And can you do, and since you said it's very expensive there, and we can also, calculate and see it's expensive, be it food, do you get an opportunity to do part-time job as well?
Great questions. So when it comes to, sorry, one question was part-time job and the other one was, what was the first question that you asked, sorry?
Scholarship.
Scholarship. Oh, yes, perfect. So scholarships, we have scholarships available. If you, so I am currently getting a loan from Student Finance England. It's basically almost, I think, I'm not sure exactly about statistics of this, but most of the students that I know, like 99% of the students that I know who study in the UK, because obviously going to university in the UK is not free, like it is, for example, in Turkey. I'm not sure how it is in India, but in Germany, I know it's free. Also in Scotland, going to university is free, but not in the UK. So for that reason, you need to pay. If you're a home student, so if you're a European student or like British student, you pay £9,250 a year. And obviously it's a lot of money. Not many people have that money to, give every year. And especially for medicine, you need to pay that amount 5 times for your medical course, because it's like 5 years. Some of them are 6 years. So you need some funding for that. And most of the students here get loans for it. So it's a loan company called Student Finance England. So I'm getting a loan from Student Finance England as well. And then I'll have to pay that as I start working. So I'll have to pay a little bit more than that because it's a loan. So there is some money that they put on top, and I'll have to pay more than what I borrow. But that was like the only way that I could support myself through university. So you get that funding for your university course. So they directly pay £9,250 to your university, and also for your living costs, for example, for your accommodation, for your food, just for any kind of living costs, they give you some money as well, depending on how much you need. You show that Student Finance England company how much you earn, how much your parents earn, and depending on that, they give you a certain amount of money. They let you borrow a certain amount of money, depending on like how your finances are. For example, if your parents are earning £40,000 a year, then they won't give you as much as if your parents are earning like £10,000 a year. Then they will give you almost like the full amount of funding, which you will have to pay later. For example, the most funding that you can get for your living costs from Student Finance England is, I think, outside London is around £9,800, and if you're in London, that can go up to £12,000 for living costs, which you will have to pay later on. That's the important bit. And also from universities, you can get funding that you don't have to pay back. For example, go ahead.
So my next question is, what is the total duration of your curriculum MBBS, and what is the total tuition fees coming approx? What is the total duration of the course and total cost incurred?
Okay, so it depends whether you intercalate or not. For example, for me, I'm not intercalating. Intercalating means basically taking a year out, not really taking a year out, but like removing yourself from medical school course to do another subject. If you do that, then it would be 6 years. For example, in Cambridge University, you have to intercalate. So they only offer 6 years of basically medical school. But in my case, it's only 5 years. So it's 5 years of medical school. Total cost depends whether you're an international student or a home student. Because I'm a home student, for me, that would be 5 times £9,250. Basically, that's only for tuition fee, so you paying to university. But on top of that, you have your living costs as well.
Okay. My next question to you, Zeliha, people wants to know. I mean, I'm very curious to know about you. That what are your future plans like? In what specialization you want to offer? Is it pediatrics or opthal or gynae or dharma or radio? What is will be your specialization?
Um, so I haven't made my mind up yet, definitely, but I'm very interested in dermatology and also um, cardiology as well. So I'm in between dermatology and cardiology.
Between the skin and the heart, you can't decide.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Is the hospital attached with the campus? I mean, within the campus, you also get your, hospital attached there?
No, it's not attached. You need to. It's like it depends on which university you go to, but for me, in my case, it's around 20 minutes walk away from the campus. That's why sometimes actually medical students feel kind of isolated from other students because they don't go to campus that often anymore. They're always in hospital. So no, it's not really on the campus, and I don't think it's like for many medical schools you need to go to an actual hospital and it's not attached to the campus.
And then my question is, do you have any particular uniform or dress code to be in the campus or during your visit to the hospital? And what is the tenure of time you spent in the hospital? And suppose, for example, in India, an Indian person goes to the UK for a trip or anything, and he or she falls sick, and going to go get admitted in your hospital. Do you at this third year can able to touch the patient, examine him or her? Do you get that opportunity?
Yes, of course, that's what we do, like, throughout this 3rd year of medical school. That's all I did. Yeah, I can touch the patient, I can examine the patient, I take bloods from them, I talk to them, so that's, like, the bread and butter of what we do, actually, starting from 3rd year. Even from 1st and 2nd year, sometimes you get, every 3 weeks you can go to hospital just for a day, compared it's a lot less than compared to, like, your clinical years, 3rd, 4th, and 5th year. But yeah, of course, that's all you do because that's how you learn, by touching the patient. I mean, examining the patient and talking to them. So you can do that. When it comes to the, I guess, the uniform that you need to wear. If you go to campus, you can wear whatever you want. If you are going to hospital or a general practice, any kind of clinical environment, you are expected to wear professional clothes, so smart clothes. Um, and if you are going to, hospital placement, then it's better to wear your scrubs, and they provide you with scrubs.
Question to you is, what are the cost of medicines in UK? Like, for example, for a medicine of fever, what will be the approx cost of it?
Do you mean like for patients or?
No, for suppose you have fever, okay, for example, and you go and buy a, here in India it is called paracetamol or something like that for, fever. So what is the cost like for one strip or something?
Um, it's for paracetamol, it's like 99p, so it's not even £1. It's very cheap. And in the UK, you actually have free national healthcare, so national NHS, which is called like free national healthcare. And so you don't really pay to see doctors here in the UK. That's a good part of it. You don't pay to get appointments from doctors, and in the hospitals during your stay you don't have to pay. It's basically funded by government through people's taxes. But when it comes to also like basically buying medications, it's cheap. I mean, like £1 maximum for paracetamol, and but per prescription, if you are buying a prescription, there are some exemptions. For example, if you're over 60, you don't have to pay for your medications at all. The government pays for you. And if you are under 18, again, you don't have to pay for prescriptions at all.
For example, do you have medical insurance? Do you have to take medical insurance for you students?
For students, there is something called General Medical Council, so GMC, to be able to become a medical student and also to become a doctor. You need to be registered under GMC. but it's not like medical insurance, like in the sense in America, for example. You don't pay like thousands of pounds for that. But yeah, as a doctor, you need to pay a little bit of medical insurance. Yeah, you'd need to pay that, but it's not too much, as long as I know. As far
Tell
as I
me,
know.
what are the disease patterns like? What are the diseases mostly you see there? Which you can say it's a bit common like in India or something?
Yeah, I think worldwide, the most diseases that I see, it's like heart attack or atherosclerotic events, for example. So vascular vessel diseases, so diabetes and heart problems, so like anginas, basically pain in your chest due to the blockage of the vessels surrounding or supplying your heart. That's the most common,
So
I think.
mostly cardiovascular disease is mostly seen there. Why? Because of lifestyle issues?
Um, so yeah, they are usually due to like lifestyle issues and like their diets, their exercise, like you mentioned. Yeah.
So during the period of COVID, if I go back to 2019, 20, during the period of COVID, how challenging was to you, Zeliha, as a third year student and would be doctor?
Mm-hmm.
So what was your role? What was your basically role at that time with so much COVID all around? And
Yes. So we had to wear a lot of protective stuff. For example, we had to wear goggles to our clinical placements. So goggles, masks that we still have to wear, and we are wearing a gown, like plastic gown. Before we see patients, we're wearing gloves, and some of those are still continuing. There are, like, for example, wearing a gown and wearing a mask. We still need to do those as we see patients in hospitals. And there has been some times, I think, especially in respiratory medicine, because they're dealing with all the COVID patients. There has been some times that consultants were so busy with COVID-19 patients and taking care of them, they were like, we can't accommodate any students in our department, so you don't need to come. And like we couldn't, for example, do our respiratory medicine because of COVID, because the consultants, the doctors who would teach us were so busy, for example. That was one of the challenges.
lovely. Thank you people that you were there so we could sleep, very peacefully, happily, be it in the hospital, be it in home. And so my question is, how many days holiday do you actually get during the entire tenure of your MBBS course?
So it depends on which year you're in, but as you move forward, your holidays get smaller and smaller. In first and second year, my university started around 22nd of September and it finishes in June. So you get around 3 months of summer in your first and second year. But starting from third, fourth, and fifth year, your summers get smaller and smaller, your holidays get smaller and smaller, and it's around like 2 months a year, the holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mostly go back to your family or you prefer staying at the UK? What do you usually do?
So my family is now living in the UK, so
Okay.
I go to see them home. Yeah, that's what I do.
So what was your motive or what was your intention to have a YouTube channel?
I got inspired. Basically, firstly, I am someone who watches a lot of YouTube, and I always like Google and YouTube, like, how is the life of a medical student? What do they do? How is their like daily life? I would always like imagine that and want to know whether it's a lifestyle that I want to have or not before making a big decision. And for example, moving to the UK to do medicine, I wanted to know if it was something that I wanted to do. So I am trying to give some insight of a life of a medical student in the UK, and just trying to be any help really to other international students or any British students who wants to be a medical student. Really, that was my main goal, just to show them some insight information of how is day in the life of a medical student and what do they do, and yeah, that is the motive behind it.
So, what kind of queries and comments you usually get, from the subscriber or from the mass or the students or the aspiring doctors? There must be, there are lots of subscriber for your channel. You will have a lot of likes, share, and comments. So, what is the mostly query and comments do you usually get in your YouTube? What is the most concern?
Most concern. Okay. So I've started my YouTube channel around like 1.5 months ago. So I'm very new to it, but I'm working on it and I'll be working on it, and I have so much planned. But I usually get questions about how to become a doctor in the UK, or if they have already started, for example, doing medicine in India, for example, they're in their second year, if they could transfer to a UK medical school without losing the years that they have already done in India, for example. That's a question that I get, and they've always been very supportive. Like the comments and everything, my viewers, my subscribers are very supportive of what I do. So it's always been positive. But yeah, they have questions about how to get into UK medical schools and whether what they've already studied in the India will count or not, for example.
My next question is transfer possible from UK to any other country if any students at any point of time, for any unavoidable circumstances, want to transfer?
If they want to transfer, they can transfer. They wouldn't be able to start from year one, from their like year 3 or whatever. They would have to start from scratch. So they would, because I know my sister she was studying in Turkey. So I can answer this question very well, I think, because my sister, who was studying in Turkey medicine, like she was in her 3rd year and she would be able to start a medical school in the UK, but they would not count her first 3 years and the one that she had in Turkey at medical school. So she would have to start from year 1, like start from scratch. So it's not really like a transfer. It's more of a starting from 0 again, if you want to.
We all know about this unavoidable situation Ukraine just faced, and we are very sad and compassionate with all the students. So, do you have any cases, Zeliha? Have you seen any students from Ukraine had taken transfer to your college or in UK in any other hospitals? Do you have any idea or any example of such case?
From Ukraine?
Yeah.
I haven't seen any. I'm not sure if they offer that at all. Sorry, I'm not really sure about that, but I haven't seen any myself. Never heard of anything like that either.
So it was really having with you in our YouTube session. I would like to have again another episode with you after, say 2-3 months or 4 months when you're free and all that. It's a lovely session, Zeliha, with you.
Thank you.
And we hope you will also subscribe to Aspiring Life channel the way we subscribe your channel. And I think you will have many questions after this session, with us and with Aspiring Life. Our subscriber will definitely, will subscribe your channel. They will have you queries. So please feel free and get time to answer them as well. And and you will also share this entire live in your channel also, and you also like subscribe our channel, and we will also keep on asking the subscriber from all over to like, subscribe in your channel. And moreover, we are wishing you that you become a very good doctor ahead. You fulfill your dream, your parents dream, your ambition, and we will see whether you go between skin and heart, whether you become a cardiologist or a dermatologist. So whatever be it, we know we are going to get a very good doctor out of you, Zeliha. And we are again looking forward to more short videos and YouTube live with you. It was lovely talking to you.
It was amazing. It was so nice to talk to you. So nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you. I think this, it will be very much mutual. We will try to help each other. Come to India, come to Kolkata. We're there for you, and so that we can, sit together, in the next to chairs and we can have a coffee and a live, not
I'd
so
love that.
distant live.
I'd love that. Yes.
Okay, so wish you all the best from the entire team of Aspiring Life Consultants Private Limited. And so thank you, viewers who are watching us this show. You can also subscribe to her channel while subscribing our channel. Also, you can ask query to us and to her also. So with this, we come to an end of this live session. Do not forget to subscribe, share, and like our channel. To know more, you can WhatsApp and call at the given following numbers. So today, thank you till this much. We will have more session with more inspiring and would be doctors from all over the globe. Thank you.